Hello, I'm going to try and make another YouTube video. There's not really a specific concept or plan to this video, other than the fact I want to talk about my transition and what has been going on for the last few years, which is quite a lot, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to squeeze into this because I don't want it to be a long video. So basically, the concept for this video is I am going through various documents and pieces of paper that I've accumulated over the last few years. Some of them signify an important stage or an event that has happened. So hopefully I can create a kind of timeline for you guys. So I thought I'd start off with showing you guys my deed poll. Hopefully I won't get any of the information out that I do not want on the internet, but this is my deed poll. It's just like on a little bit of cartridge paper, I don't know, like arty paper, something that I had at the time. It's a free deed poll that I made on, there must be a date on here somewhere, yep, 1st of April 2016. Little tip, when you do your deed poll, print off a few copies because you send them off to loads of places when you need to change your name at various different organisations, and I sent my, I think I had 2 copies, I sent them both off and they never got returned to me. So yeah, that was done, this one was done on 1st of April 2016. Now I actually came out to my parents, I must have been 14, nearly 15. Yeah, it was about 6 years ago. So after I came out to my parents, I went to the GP, and my GP, who, yeah, I've known since I was probably about 11 or 12, very long time, she sent a referral off to the Child and Adolescent Clinic in London, which is called Tavistock. I started going to Tavistock. I saw a doctor called Charlie Beaumont. I saw him 3 or 4 times. I then was, I guess, going through a stage in my life where I wasn't accepted by everyone, especially the people that I was involved with at the time. There was several people in my life at the time who I thought it would just be easier if I stopped going to my gender clinic appointments. Given that I was about to start hormone blockers, which under Tavistock you have to be on for a year before you can start testosterone. Sometimes they start you on T straight away, I don't know. I was literally just about to start hormone blockers, which is exciting, but that didn't go ahead because I stopped going, and I also changed my name back to my birth name. So I guess you could say for a brief moment I detransitioned. I got a lot of stick for it back then, but I guess it's just what I wanted to do at the time. I in my mind, I know now that I was not mature enough to be making the decisions that I would have been making if I were to go ahead with a lot of the things that I was thinking about. I obviously wasn't mature enough because I didn't do it. So I was with my new partner, who I'm not going to go into masses of detail about. Essentially, I came out to them as trans a few months into our relationship, and I changed my name, and I didn't give too much of a shit what anyone thought anymore, because I was very, very unhappy. So I did what was best for me, and yeah, I wouldn't change how I did things up until that point at all, really. I needed the time to get to grips with things. I'm proud of myself for doing it, and I'm proud of myself for getting through it as well, because I know a lot of people wouldn't. So yeah, after all of that, I then went back to my GP, who referred me to Charing Cross, the adult gender clinic in London, and I also referred myself to Gendercare, which is a private clinic, mainly... Oh, I just got a fucking text to leave me alone, bitches. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so I referred myself to Dr. Lorimer, who is one of the best people I've ever met. He is so down to earth, so chill. He amazes me. He's great. So I went to see him in May. Went to see him on around the 9th of May. I also took with me a letter from my GP. I'm going to read a little bit of it out. Anyway, so she wrote, Dear Dr. Lorimer, Jamie has asked that I write to give some further background information. He is much relieved to hopefully now be progressing in his transgender journey. Interesting. Jamie has suffered with anxiety and depression for the last few years, and much of this may have been based around his issues regarding sexuality and gender. And then there's stuff about me coming out as gay when I was quite young, stuff about me feeling uncomfortable in my bridesmaid dress that I wore to my mum's wedding in 2013. Stuff about not feeling supported by previous partners. Again, not mentioning any names. Oh, interesting, I found a letter from Charlie Beaumont, which I asked him to write for Dr. Lorimer. I'll read this one out because this one's quite interesting. Obviously, it's from when I was a kid, so... I understand from our administrator that Jamie contacted our service to ask for a letter in support of a referral to Gendercare. The last time that we were in contact, Jamie wanted to be referred to Charing Cross. I've noted that although Jamie did attend our service for 4 out of 6 appointments offered between the 10th of October 2013 and 14th of July 2014, Jamie failed to attend any further appointments with our service after July 2014. We tried to make contact in July to try and book further appointments, but we had no response and subsequently closed the case to our service. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be a time waster. When Jamie did come, he did talk about a long-standing wish to transition and met the criteria for gender dysphoria. So, it basically says I felt uncomfortable living as female back then, which would make sense. Better, blah 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 blah. Essentially, when I went to Dr. Lorimer, I actually identified as non-binary, and I still do, but more on the transmasculine spectrum side. Also, look fucking fat my mug is. Oh well. I get distracted easily. Anyway, so yeah, I've always felt that gender is a spectrum. So when I went to Gendercare, when I went to see Dr. Lorimer, I went not to go on hormones, just to get a referral for top surgery privately with Mr. Yelland in Brighton. Again, I didn't surround myself by the most positive people. That seems to be quite a pattern. I felt uncomfortable going ahead with any hormonal changes, basically because I was worried about where that would leave the different people in my life. Whether they would leave my life. It's a very scary thing, thinking that someone who you care about is gonna not care about you anymore based on the physical change. I explained that I felt that surgery was my main focus, and that if I hadn't ruled testosterone out, but that surgery was my... Oh my god, why is my laptop just gone to sleep? God damn, what happened? Then I saw Mr. Yelland for a consultation. He informed me that I would need double incision, which I was pretty much aware of anyway. Based on what I know about bra sizes, I was around probably 32 double D, so like I had some titties. Oh my god. So I originally booked my surgery for something like the 18th of October 2016. It fell through because the job that I was supposed to be starting, I did some work for them, and then they basically couldn't afford to keep me, so I moved on from that, and I had to cancel my surgery date because I had no money to pay for it, essentially. Anyway, following that, in the end of November 2016, was it 2017? No, 2016, I was in a motor vehicle accident. I was essentially crossing a pedestrian crossing, and it was a red light for the cars. It was a green man, so I was walking along with my bike by my side, and a car just came off the roundabout and didn't look, obviously, that there was a red light or something. I don't know. Went straight into me. Luckily for me, my bike actually took most of the impact, so I wasn't too badly injured. I got a fractured elbow, and I damaged a lot of the soft tissue in my arm and into my shoulder, and I had like concussion, whiplash, whatever. So that was a nasty thing to have happened. Like, I got off quite lightly, considering the circumstance. I won't go into detail about exactly what happened, because a lot more happened that day, but maybe I'll make another video about that at a different time. But essentially, I then I didn't realise this could happen, but I sued the driver. I literally didn't even know that was a thing until my mum and other people turned around and said to me that you can get some drinking out of that. So that's what I did. I got a lawyer, and they, over a few months, put together a case, and the driver admitted complete liability. So I got a lot of, I'm not going to say how much, but I got a large proportion of the money that I would need to pay for surgery. So silver linings and all that. Basically, I knew that my surgery referral was only actually valid for 1 year, so I was cutting it very, very close. I called up Mr. Yellen's secretary, and I said, look, something's happened, I can book my surgery, please let me. And it's all worked out pretty well. Big up my mum for the help with that. And then I rebooked my surgery for the 9th of October 2017. So that was cool. I booked my surgery, all very exciting. I also then had a gender clinic appointment with Charing Cross. I don't know if you remember me saying, but I did actually get my GP to refer me, so it'd been about nearly 2 years at this point, and I got my appointment through in post, so I was like, I'll just go, because I actually want to go on testosterone now. So I went, and I saw Dr. Barrett, who's been on like a couple of other interviews, and he's been on the BBC News a couple of times. So yeah, I saw him. He gave me the go ahead for testosterone. Started testosterone, and then literally 3 months after, I started testosterone on the 26th of July 2017, and 3 months after I had my surgery. This is what I look like. My nipples have actually only just popped out, so that's kind of good timing, I guess. My scars, this one is a lot more faded than this one, essentially because this is my right side. There was a lot more pressure this side after surgery, and I also was doing a lot more than I should, like lifting my arm up and shit. I've been very bad at looking after my scars, which is, but I just need to get a routine going again, and I'll be all good. So just to kind of recap, I guess. I have been on T now for about 7.5 months, I think. Around 7 months, around that. And I have... wait, what the fuck? July... Yeah, so 7.5 months on T, and November, December, January, 5 months post-op. I didn't realise that there was such a short time between starting T and surgery, but there we go. It goes to show that results are results no matter whether you're on T or not, because I wasn't on T for a very substantial amount of time for any changes to have happened anyway. In this area for I guess there to be any issues with my results. So yeah, changes that I've had. My voice is probably one of my most favourites. I think my face has changed slightly, like obviously I still look like me, but yeah, I think it's changed slightly. I've got a little bit of spottage going on. I do have some facial hair. I shaved literally today, so can't see it, but I get the tash, the baby tash, the one that's quite embarrassing, and I get like odd hairs, like kind of dotted, and they're just annoying, so I shave, and I've decided I'm just going to keep shaving until it looks better, because it looks ridiculous at the moment. I get a little thing here. Yeah, nothing much really. My hairline has changed quite dramatically, I think, actually, because I used to have my head shaved, and you could see from old photos that my hairline was basically here, and now it's really thinned out over here, and on the other side. But yeah, so I think my hairline's changed. My eyebrows are bushy as fuck. They weren't like that before. Who has the nerve to interrupt? Oh man. My muscles, that was really embarrassing. Have changed. My body shape has changed. My shoulders. Since surgery, I've been forcing myself to wear extra small t-shirts, which is my size, because before I used to wear a layer and wear baggy clothes, like just to hide. I was just more comfortable like that, but I looked ridiculous, and I looked huge, even though I am actually an extra small and pretty much always have been. My waist has actually gone from 36 inches to 29, 28 sometimes, so it was quite a significant change. I did lose a lot of weight due to just life stuff, so that is like a huge part, that had a huge part to play, but also I do think that body fat redistribution, which is one of the effects of testosterone, I do feel like that has come into play a bit as well. I guess to finish off this video, I've not gone into masses of detail about everything, but if you have a point that you want me to talk about in more detail, then just go ahead and send me a message. My DMs are open. So I have been very uncomfortable with talking about my transition, especially in the last few months. I think since starting T, I think because I pass a lot more, I'd say, I mean, I haven't been misgendered in public in months, so I think since I realised that I was becoming more comfortable with my changes and etc, I've just not wanted to, I guess, out myself, but I've always loved educating people and speaking from my own experiences. So for me, there was such a conflict of feeling, because because I want to be able to talk about it, and hopefully I'm hoping that by making YouTube videos I'll become comfortable with doing that again. So I guess just to end this video, I want to say thank you for watching. Please do send me questions and stuff, because I really do want to make more of these. I have a lot to talk about. I just have a lot to talk about, and I hope that it can help people, and it's such a nice feeling to know that you've affected someone in a positive way, and I want to be doing that again. I'll make videos on other things too. I want to be making videos on mental health and music and art and etc, like things that I enjoy, and I want to feel like I'm making a positive change. So if you would want to give me a helping hand with that, then that'd be cool. Anyway, thanks for watching.